What If the Galactic Empire Never Fell? Is a thought-provoking exploration of a timeline where the Galactic Empire remains in power, shaping the galaxy in ways both familiar and unforeseen. The fall of the Empire is a pivotal moment in the Star Wars saga, marked by the heroics of the Rebel Alliance and the redemption of Anakin Skywalker. However, envisioning a scenario where the Empire endures opens a Pandora's box of possibilities, redefining destinies and altering the very fabric of the galaxy. In this alternate timeline, the events of Return of the Jedi unfold differently. The Rebel Alliance's assault on the second Death Star fails due to unforeseen complications. Perhaps the Empire's intelligence has improved, allowing them to anticipate the Rebel strategies. As a result, the Death Star operationalizes its super laser against the Rebel fleet, decimating their forces and solidifying the Empire's grip on the galaxy. This victory revitalizes Imperial morale and instills fear across the galaxy, causing many systems to reconsider their opposition to Imperial rule. With the Rebel Alliance weakened, the Galactic Empire consolidates its power. Emperor Palpatine, ever the master manipulator, uses propaganda to paint the rebels as terrorists threatening peace and stability. The Empire's narrative frames itself as the protector of the galaxy, rallying support from neutral systems and former separatist planets that desire order after years of conflict. The Emperor's rhetoric, combined with the display of military might, allows the Empire to tighten its grip without significant resistance. The Jedi Order, previously decimated by Order 66, is still shattered but not entirely eradicated. A handful of surviving Jedi remain in hiding, operating in secrecy to preserve the teachings and traditions of their fallen order. Figures like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda may have survived, working quietly to rebuild the Jedi teachings and finding ways to aid those still resisting the Empire. In this new reality, they are forced to adopt a more covert approach, guiding the next generation of Force-sensitive individuals away from the Empire's watchful eye. However, the Empire's survival doesn't guarantee peace. The undercurrents of dissent begin to bubble to the surface as oppressed planets start to rise against their Imperial governors. Some of the former leaders of the Rebel Alliance, now in hiding, become guerrilla fighters, striking back against the Empire's oppressive regime. The struggle for freedom reignites as these factions begin to form alliances with those who are still loyal to the Jedi Order, seeking guidance and wisdom from the remnants of the Jedi. As the Empire focuses on rooting out these insurgents, it embarks on a campaign to locate and eliminate any remaining Jedi. The Emperor employs Inquisitors, trained to hunt down Force users and ensure that the Jedi threat is extinguished once and for all. This cat-and-mouse game creates tension within the galaxy, as Jedi and rebels alike must navigate a dangerous landscape, balancing the need to fight back while remaining hidden from the Empire's eyes. In this environment, Anakin Skywalker's fate diverges drastically. If he had not turned to the dark side and instead continued as a loyal general in the Empire, his role could become pivotal. With the Empire's might firmly intact, Anakin could rise through the ranks, potentially becoming a key figure in maintaining the Empire's dominance. However, the shadow of his past as a Jedi would loom over him, leading to internal conflicts as he struggles with the darkness within. As Anakin navigates the treacherous waters of Imperial politics, he faces the constant challenge of reconciling his past as a Jedi with his current identity as a general in the Empire. His relationship with Padme Amidala, if it still exists, becomes increasingly complicated. In this scenario, Anakin's desire for power and stability clashes with his love for Padme and the teachings of the Jedi Order. The struggle to protect her while upholding his duties to the Empire could lead him down a path of moral ambiguity, testing his loyalties and convictions. Anakin's internal conflict is compounded by the rise of the Inquisitors. As the Emperor tightens his grip on the galaxy, the Inquisitors are tasked with hunting down any remaining Jedi. This dark faction operates with ruthless efficiency, serving as the Emperor's enforcers and striking fear into the hearts of those who might harbor Jedi sympathies. The pressure mounts as Anakin realizes that the Inquisitors could easily turn their attention toward his past and the secrets he holds. At the same time, whispers of a new rebellion begin to spread. Former members of the Rebel Alliance, now scattered, start to organize a more formidable resistance against the Empire. These groups operate in secret, forging alliances with neutral systems and encouraging citizens to rise against their oppressors. Their aim is to reignite the spark of rebellion, challenging the Empire's narrative and restoring hope to a galaxy in despair. This rebellion is more than just a military conflict. It becomes a symbol of resistance against tyranny and oppression. In this environment, the remnants of the Jedi Order play a crucial role in guiding the rebellion. As the Jedi emerge from the shadows, they offer training and wisdom to new Force-sensitive individuals who are willing to take a stand against the Empire. The legacy of the Jedi becomes a beacon of hope for those who have suffered under Imperial rule. The balance of the Force becomes a central theme, as the Jedi teach that the light side is not just about power but also about compassion, unity, and resilience. Anakin's path diverges further as he becomes entangled with the new rebellion. Struggling with his past, he finds himself at a crossroads. He can continue to serve the Empire, rising through the ranks while suppressing the memories of his former life as a Jedi, or he can embrace his true nature and fight for freedom alongside those who wish to dismantle the very regime he once served. This decision becomes the ultimate test of his character and convictions. As tensions escalate, skirmishes between the Empire and the rebels intensify. The Inquisitors become relentless in their pursuit of Jedi, leading to a series of confrontations that reveal the true nature of power and resistance. Each clash becomes a battle not just for physical survival but for the soul of the galaxy. The Empire, in its pursuit of dominance, begins to fracture under the weight of its own tyranny, as disillusioned citizens turn to the growing rebellion. The stakes rise higher as Anakin is forced to confront the realities of his choices. He learns of the fate of his fellow Jedi who have been hunted down by the Inquisitors, each loss weighing heavily on him. Anakin's past catches up with him, forcing him to confront his fears and regrets. His internal struggle is mirrored by the external conflict, as the rebellion grows stronger and more organized. In this alternate timeline, the fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance. The choices made by Anakin, the Jedi, and the rebels will determine whether the Empire can maintain its grip, or if the light of hope can once again shine through the darkness. The narrative weaves together themes of redemption, sacrifice, and the enduring struggle for freedom against oppression. As the conflict escalates, Anakin finds himself drawn deeper into the rebellion, grappling with the consequences of his choices. Each skirmish brings him closer to the core of the resistance, where he meets other Force-sensitive individuals who, like him, have felt the Empire's oppressive grip. Among them are former Padawans and even some who have never been trained but possess a natural connection to the Force. This diverse group becomes a new family for Anakin, offering him the camaraderie and understanding he has longed for since the fall of the Jedi Order. Amidst this newfound support, Anakin begins to uncover the deeper philosophical underpinnings of the Force. The teachings of the Jedi that he had once dismissed are revisited with a fresh perspective. He learns about the balance between light and dark, realizing that both aspects are essential to understanding the Force. His relationship with his fellow rebels, many of whom are passionate about justice and freedom, helps him understand the importance of compassion and empathy. These lessons become vital as he contemplates the path he has chosen. Meanwhile, the Empire, feeling the pressure from the rising rebellion, intensifies its crackdown on dissent. The Inquisitors, fueled by the Emperor's directives, launch a series of ruthless campaigns to eliminate any remaining Jedi and suppress the growing resistance. This relentless pursuit leads to harrowing confrontations, showcasing the Empire's brutal tactics and the cost of rebellion. Each battle further solidifies Anakin's resolve to stand against the Empire and protect those he has come to care for. As Anakin embraces his role within the rebellion, he finds himself increasingly at odds with the remnants of the Empire he once served. The tension between his past and present creates a rich internal conflict that drives the narrative. In a pivotal moment, Anakin is faced with a choice that tests his loyalties: to save a group of captured rebels, including former Jedi, or to pursue a lead on a high-ranking Imperial officer who could provide valuable intelligence. The decision weighs heavily on him, and he realizes that the path he chooses will define his legacy. The rebellion, now more organized and emboldened, stages a daring operation to rescue their captured comrades. Anakin leads the charge, combining his Jedi training with the guerrilla tactics he has learned from his new allies. The operation is fraught with danger, but Anakin's determination fuels the team's resolve. As they infiltrate an Imperial stronghold, Anakin is forced to confront his past when he encounters former clone troopers he once fought alongside. The emotional weight of these encounters amplifies his internal struggle, forcing him to face the consequences of the Empire's actions. The rescue operation culminates in a climactic showdown with the Inquisitors, showcasing the deep connections Anakin has formed with the rebels. As he fights alongside his comrades, he taps into the teachings of the Jedi, blending his past with his present in a display of raw power and determination. In this moment, Anakin realizes that he can wield the Force not as a tool for domination but as a means of protection and hope. With the captured rebels freed and the Inquisitors driven back, Anakin and the rebellion celebrate a hard-fought victory. This triumph ignites a new sense of hope among the galaxy's oppressed, inspiring more systems to join the fight against the Empire. The message of unity and resilience spreads, showing that the spirit of rebellion is alive and well, despite the Empire's attempts to extinguish it. However, the battle is far from over. The Empire, angered by the audacity of the rebellion, begins to retaliate with increasing ferocity. They unleash a campaign of terror, targeting planets that show signs of dissent. Anakin and the rebels must remain vigilant, preparing for the inevitable confrontation with the Empire that looms on the horizon. As the rebellion gains momentum, Anakin's journey becomes increasingly intertwined with the fate of the galaxy. The successes of the rebel cells spark hope across various systems, and more planets begin to openly resist Imperial rule. This newfound unity challenges the Empire's narrative, forcing them to adapt to a galaxy that is rising against them. However, the stakes are high, and the response from the Empire is ruthless. The Empire escalates its efforts to crush the rebellion, employing more Inquisitors and increasing the presence of stormtroopers in key locations. They establish curfews, impose harsh penalties on suspected rebels, and launch propaganda campaigns aimed at discrediting the resistance. Anakin and the rebel leaders realize they must strike strategically, balancing their offensive actions with the need to protect innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. Anakin's leadership becomes crucial in these moments of tension. His experiences as a Jedi and his understanding of the Force guide him in making decisions that prioritize the lives of others. He begins to cultivate a reputation not just as a skilled warrior, but as a compassionate leader who values the lives of those he fights to protect. This transformation draws more supporters to the rebellion, including former Imperial officers disillusioned by the regime's brutality. During a pivotal mission, Anakin leads a team to liberate a key planet that has been heavily occupied by the Empire. As they infiltrate an Imperial base, Anakin encounters clone troopers, his former brothers, who have been conscripted into serving the Empire. The emotional weight of seeing his comrades fighting for an oppressive regime strikes a deep chord within him, forcing him to confront the consequences of the war and his own past choices. Anakin's connection to the Force deepens during this mission, leading him to sense the turmoil within the clones. He realizes that they, too, are victims of the Empire's manipulation. Inspired by the Jedi teachings of compassion, he makes the bold decision to reach out to the clones, urging them to reconsider their allegiance. This unexpected move catches his allies off guard, but it opens a dialogue that could change the course of the battle. As Anakin speaks to the clones, he taps into their shared experiences, recalling the camaraderie they once had during the Clone Wars. His words resonate, and a handful of clones begin to question their loyalty to the Empire. This moment of vulnerability and understanding serves as a catalyst, inspiring others to reconsider their positions as well. The battle becomes a turning point, revealing the potential for redemption and alliance even among former enemies. The success of this mission propels Anakin into the spotlight, solidifying his status as a leader within the rebellion. He becomes a symbol of hope for those resisting the Empire, representing the possibility of change and redemption. However, this newfound attention also places a target on his back. The Empire, recognizing the threat he poses, intensifies its efforts to eliminate him, deploying the Inquisitors to hunt him down. The Inquisitors, led by a particularly ruthless agent, begin to close in on Anakin and the rebellion. Their relentless pursuit heightens the tension, forcing Anakin and his allies to adopt more covert tactics to avoid detection. As the stakes rise, Anakin grapples with the knowledge that his very existence is now a threat to the rebellion he has come to cherish. With the Empire's grip tightening, the time for decisive action approaches. Anakin must choose between continuing to lead from the shadows or taking the fight directly to the Empire. His experiences have shown him the power of unity and the strength of those willing to stand against tyranny, but he must also confront the reality that every choice he makes could have far-reaching consequences for the galaxy. As the rebellion prepares for a final confrontation, Anakin stands at a crossroads. He must balance his responsibilities as a leader with his desire to protect those he loves, all while remaining true to the teachings of the Jedi. This inner struggle becomes central to the narrative, as Anakin realizes that the true battle is not just against the Empire, but also within himself. As the final confrontation with the Empire looms, Anakin Skywalker finds himself torn between two identities: the general of the rebellion and the lost Jedi grappling with the shadows of his past. The stakes have never been higher, and the galaxy's fate hinges on the decisions made in these critical moments. Anakin gathers his allies, including former Jedi, rebels, and disillusioned clones, to strategize a bold plan to strike at the heart of Imperial power. The rebellion aims to target a significant Imperial stronghold, one that houses critical resources and communication lines essential for maintaining the Empire's control over the galaxy. This stronghold is heavily fortified, guarded by legions of stormtroopers and powerful inquisitors. The plan is fraught with danger, but Anakin's leadership inspires confidence among the troops. His reputation as a fierce warrior and compassionate leader motivates the diverse group to rally behind him. As the operation unfolds, the camaraderie among the rebels becomes palpable. Anakin's ability to connect with those around him, whether clone, human, or former Jedi, shines through, fostering a sense of unity. This newly forged alliance serves as a reminder that the true strength of the rebellion lies not in their weapons but in their shared commitment to freedom and justice. The assault on the Imperial stronghold begins, and the rebels execute their plan with precision. Anakin leads the charge, utilizing his Jedi training to navigate through the chaos. His connection to the Force allows him to sense danger and guide his allies, avoiding traps set by the Empire. As they push forward, Anakin encounters a squad of Inquisitors, leading to an intense confrontation. This battle is not just physical, it becomes a clash of ideologies, as Anakin confronts the darkness that once consumed him. In the heat of battle, Anakin faces one of the Inquisitors, a former Jedi who has succumbed to the dark side. Their duel is fierce, echoing the struggles Anakin faced in the past. As they fight, Anakin recalls the teachings of the Jedi, realizing that he must not only fight to win, but also to embody the principles of compassion and understanding. This revelation shifts his approach, allowing him to confront his opponent not just as an enemy, but as a tragic figure caught in a web of darkness. Meanwhile, the rest of the rebel forces continue their assault on the stronghold, with moments of heroism and sacrifice defining their struggle. Clones who have chosen to side with the rebellion fight valiantly alongside former rebels, showcasing the power of unity against tyranny. Each victory adds to the momentum, and the tides of battle begin to turn in favor of the rebellion. As the confrontation escalates, Anakin manages to subdue the Inquisitor. In a moment of clarity, he offers a chance for redemption, urging them to turn away from the dark side and embrace the light once more. This powerful act of compassion resonates deeply, reflecting the growth he has undergone throughout his journey. The confrontation culminates in a choice for the Inquisitor, one that may lead to their salvation or further descent into darkness. As the rebels make headway, they begin to dismantle the stronghold's defenses. Their unity and determination become a beacon of hope for others across the galaxy, inspiring even more systems to rise against the Empire. The fight against the Empire transforms from a desperate struggle to a movement fueled by a desire for freedom and justice. The climax of the battle brings Anakin face to face with the highest-ranking Imperial officer present, a once loyal general who has turned into a cruel enforcer of the Empire. Their confrontation is filled with emotional weight as they exchange words, reflecting on their shared past and the choices that led them down divergent paths. Anakin's understanding of the Force deepens as he realizes that true strength lies not in power or dominance, but in compassion and redemption. As the battle rages on, Anakin's confrontation with the Imperial officer escalates into a fierce duel, showcasing not only physical prowess, but also the emotional stakes of their clash. Anakin draws on the lessons he has learned throughout his journey, channeling his past as a Jedi to fight with purpose rather than rage. The fight is a reflection of his inner struggle, a struggle against the darkness that once consumed him, and a test of his newfound commitment to the light. The officer, fueled by a desire for power and loyalty to the Empire, underestimates Anakin's resolve. As their lightsabers clash, Anakin's movements become more fluid and focused, emphasizing not only his training but also his deep understanding of the Force. Each strike is a reminder of what he has fought for, the future of the galaxy, the bonds he has formed with his allies, and the opportunity for redemption. In the midst of their duel, Anakin attempts to reach the officer on an emotional level. He speaks of the Jedi's true purpose, of peace, and of protecting the innocent. His words resonate in the chaos of battle, planting seeds of doubt in the officer's mind. The clash becomes not just a fight for survival, but a philosophical debate about the nature of power, control, and the path to true strength. Meanwhile, outside the stronghold, the tide of battle has shifted in favor of the rebels. The remaining Inquisitors, realizing the tide is turning, attempt to rally their forces, but they face fierce resistance from the newly liberated clones and the growing number of rebels. The atmosphere is charged with determination and hope as each victory emboldens the fighters, igniting a flame of rebellion that could no longer be extinguished. As Anakin's duel reaches its climax, the officer's facade begins to crack. Faced with Anakin's unwavering commitment to the light, he grapples with his choices. The power and control he once sought seem hollow in the face of Anakin's conviction. In a moment of vulnerability, the officer hesitates, allowing Anakin to gain the upper hand. Seizing the opportunity, Anakin disarms his opponent, holding the blade to his throat. In that moment, he must decide whether to end the officer's life in a moment of vengeance or to extend a chance at redemption. Drawing upon the teachings of the Jedi, he chooses compassion over anger. Anakin spares the officer, offering him a choice to abandon the Empire and join the fight for freedom, or to continue down a path that leads to destruction. The officer, shaken by the encounter and the revelation of his own choices, decides to yield. This pivotal moment reinforces Anakin's growth, demonstrating that he is not the same man who once succumbed to the darkness. He has become a beacon of hope for those still lost in the shadows. The battle reaches its conclusion, with the rebels successfully dismantling the Imperial stronghold. Anakin and his allies emerge victorious, but the fight for freedom is far from over. The triumph serves as a rallying cry, inspiring countless systems to rise against the Empire. The news of Anakin's decision to spare the officer spreads quickly, resonating across the galaxy and reminding others of the power of compassion in the face of tyranny. As the dust settles, Anakin and the newly reformed Jedi reflect on their next steps. The rebellion has gained significant momentum, but the Empire will not sit idly by. They understand that this victory is merely the beginning of a larger struggle for the soul of the galaxy. With the threat of the Empire still looming, Anakin steps into a leadership role within the rebellion, embracing his past while forging a new path forward. Anakin's journey continues as he works to unite the various factions of the rebellion, focusing on building a coalition that embodies the principles of the Jedi. He understands that true strength lies not in power or domination, but in unity and understanding. The lessons learned from his time as a Jedi guide him as he seeks to create a future where the galaxy can thrive in peace. As Anakin steps into his role as a leader of the rebellion, he focuses on consolidating the various factions that have joined the fight against the Empire. This requires delicate diplomacy, as different groups come with their own agendas, histories, and grievances. Anakin understands that uniting them under a common cause is essential if they are to face the might of the Empire. He begins by holding meetings with key leaders of the rebel factions, using his charisma and shared experiences to build rapport. Anakin listens to their concerns, acknowledging the sacrifices they have made and the struggles they continue to face. By doing so, he creates an atmosphere of trust, emphasizing that they all share a common enemy and a vision for a free galaxy. During these discussions, Anakin emphasizes the importance of maintaining the moral high ground. He draws upon the teachings of the Jedi, advocating for compassion and understanding, even toward those who once served the Empire. He proposes that the rebellion must not only fight to defeat the Empire, but also to offer hope and redemption to those who have lost their way. This approach resonates with many, and slowly, a unified front begins to take shape. The tide of rebellion surges forward, culminating in a series of coordinated strikes against Imperial targets. Anakin's leadership proves effective, and the rebels capitalize on their newfound unity. They launch attacks on Imperial supply lines, disrupt communications, and liberate oppressed planets. Each victory strengthens their resolve and inspires more systems to join the cause, further undermining the Empire's authority. However, the Empire responds with ruthless efficiency. Palpatine, enraged by the rebellion's successes, dispatches additional forces to crush the insurgents. The Inquisitors, still hunting down any remnants of the Jedi, become a constant threat to Anakin and his allies. As the Empire ramps up its efforts, Anakin and his fellow rebels must adapt to the shifting tides of battle. Anakin's bond with the new members of the rebellion deepens, particularly with the former officer he had spared. This individual, now a reluctant but committed ally, becomes a bridge between former Imperial loyalists and the rebels. He shares valuable insights about the Empire's strategies and weaknesses, making him a crucial asset in the ongoing struggle. Despite their successes, the shadow of the Empire looms large. Anakin grapples with the reality that his past choices still haunt him. He reflects on the power he once sought and how easily it can corrupt. His relationship with Padme remains a source of strength, but he also fears that his involvement in the rebellion could put her in danger. This internal conflict drives him to work even harder for the cause, hoping to secure a future where she and all beings in the galaxy can live free from fear. As the rebellion gains momentum, they begin to plan for a significant strike against a major Imperial stronghold, one that could cripple the Empire's military capabilities. The stakes are higher than ever, and the risks are considerable. Anakin knows that this mission could very well determine the future of the galaxy. In the lead up to the attack, Anakin gathers his closest allies to strategize. He emphasizes the importance of stealth and coordination, using his experiences as a Jedi to guide the team. The plan involves multiple teams operating simultaneously to create chaos and confusion within the Imperial ranks, maximizing their chances of success. As the day of the operation approaches, tensions run high. Anakin understands that many of his comrades are risking everything for the chance at freedom. He takes time to connect with each member of the team, reminding them of their purpose and the hope they are fighting for. This bond strengthens their resolve and prepares them for the challenges ahead. Finally, the day of the operation arrives. The rebels move into position, and Anakin takes the lead with a small strike team. As they infiltrate the stronghold, the adrenaline surges, and Anakin feels the weight of destiny upon him. The mission begins with success as they disable security systems and neutralize guards, but soon the Empire realizes they are under attack. The ensuing chaos becomes a battlefield as alarms blare and stormtroopers swarm to defend their stronghold. Anakin channels his training, using the Force to anticipate threats and protect his allies. The battles rage on, and each victory against the stormtroopers strengthens Anakin's resolve, reminding him of the light within and the hope for a better future. As the operation intensifies, Anakin leads his strike team deeper into the heart of the Imperial stronghold. Each corner they turn reveals more stormtroopers and inquisitors, and the tension thickens in the air. Anakin's mastery of the Force guides him as he senses danger before it arrives, allowing him to react swiftly and protect his comrades. The bond of trust he has cultivated with his team fuels their determination, pushing them to fight harder against overwhelming odds. The chaos of battle becomes a crucible for Anakin, forcing him to confront the ghosts of his past while simultaneously shaping his future. With every enemy he faces, he is reminded of the choices he made as Darth Vader and the darkness that nearly consumed him. Yet this time he fights not for power, but for hope and redemption. His transformation is palpable. He embraces the lessons of compassion and leadership that he has learned since escaping the grip of the Empire. As the team progresses through the stronghold, they encounter a group of captured rebels, locked away and awaiting their fate. The sight ignites a fierce determination within Anakin and his allies. Freeing these prisoners becomes paramount, as it not only saves lives but also serves as a powerful message to the galaxy. The fight against oppression is far from over. In a heart-pounding moment, Anakin uses the Force to break the locks on the prison cells. As the doors swing open, the rebels flood out, grateful and ready to join the fight. Their spirits are lifted, and the tide of battle shifts further in favor of the rebellion. Anakin's presence galvanizes the newly freed prisoners, and they rally alongside him, determined to take down their captors. However, as the battle rages on, the Empire's response becomes increasingly brutal. The Inquisitors, realizing that the situation is spiraling out of control, regroup and prepare to unleash their full power. They target Anakin, seeing him as the greatest threat to the Empire's survival. As the remaining rebel forces fight fiercely, the Inquisitors close in on Anakin, eager to settle the score for past defeats. The encounter with the Inquisitors marks a turning point in the battle. Anakin faces a particularly fierce opponent, an Inquisitor who has been hunting Jedi for years. Their duel is a clash of lightsabers, energy crackling in the air as they engage in a battle that transcends mere physical combat. The fight embodies the conflict between light and dark, as Anakin draws on all he has learned while the Inquisitor channels the relentless aggression of the dark side. With each strike, Anakin feels the weight of his past and the burden of his choices. Memories of the Jedi Order and his failures echo in his mind, but he channels this into determination. He fights not just for himself, but for all those who have suffered under the Empire's tyranny. The fight becomes a representation of his struggle for redemption, a battle not just for survival, but for the chance to reclaim his legacy as a protector of peace. As the battle intensifies, Anakin taps into the teachings of the Jedi, finding a way to integrate the light side's compassion with the strength he has gained. He begins to turn the tide against the Inquisitor, using not just brute force but also the wisdom he has acquired throughout his journey. This evolution showcases Anakin's growth as he realizes that true power lies in understanding rather than domination. Meanwhile, outside the stronghold, the rebel forces are gaining ground. Anakin's actions inside the fortress inspire a renewed sense of hope among the rebels. Their collective courage ignites a fire within them, pushing them to fight harder and take back what the Empire has stolen. The sounds of battle reverberate through the air, the clash of lightsabers and blasters harmonizing with cries of defiance. As the dust settles and the confrontation escalates, Anakin faces a pivotal moment. With the Inquisitor on the verge of defeat, he senses the darkness beginning to overtake his opponent. In that instant, Anakin is presented with a choice: to end the Inquisitor's life and solidify his own victory, or to extend a hand, offering the chance for redemption. In the heat of the battle, Anakin stands poised with his lightsaber aimed at the Inquisitor, his heart pounding with the weight of his decision. Memories of his past actions swirl in his mind, reminding him of the darkness he once embraced. This moment is not just a fight for survival, it is a pivotal crossroads that could define his legacy. Instead of striking down the Inquisitor in vengeance, Anakin chooses compassion, a testament to his growth and understanding of the Force. "Join us," Anakin urges, lowering his lightsaber slightly. "You don't have to serve the darkness. There is still a path back to the light." The Inquisitor falters, his eyes betraying a flicker of uncertainty. For a moment, the relentless facade of loyalty to the Empire cracks, revealing the inner turmoil that lies beneath. Anakin seizes this opportunity, channeling the teachings of the Jedi to reach out not only with words but with the Force, attempting to sense the remnants of good that may still exist within the Inquisitor. The struggle within the Inquisitor is palpable. He grapples with years of indoctrination, violence, and loyalty to the Empire. Yet here stands Anakin, a living testament to the possibility of redemption. The battle around them rages on, but for this fleeting moment, it feels as though time has slowed. Anakin's offer resonates, stirring long-buried emotions and doubts. "Remember who you once were," Anakin continues, his voice steady and filled with conviction. "You can choose your own path. Join us and together we can fight for a galaxy free from oppression." This powerful exchange transforms the fight from one of mere survival to one of hope and transformation. Anakin's words echo through Stronghold as his allies continue to fight against the remaining Imperial forces. The struggle to save the Inquisitor becomes a defining moment for both men. As the Inquisitor wavers, Anakin senses a shift within him. In an unexpected turn, the Inquisitor drops his lightsaber, clattering to the ground. The decision is made not just for himself, but for the future he wishes to embrace. In that instant, Anakin's heart swells with hope, a feeling he thought lost forever. The rebel forces, witnessing this pivotal moment, draw strength from it. They see not just Anakin's strength but also the power of compassion and redemption. The tides of battle turn once again as the Inquisitor joins Anakin, now fighting alongside the rebels. Together they rally against the remaining Imperial forces, their unity a powerful testament to the possibility of change. With the battle reaching its climax, Anakin's group of rebels pushes back against the Empire's defenders. They fight with renewed vigor, inspired by Anakin's choice and the Inquisitor's redemption. The clash between the rebels and the stormtroopers becomes fierce, but the tide has turned. The Imperial forces, once confident in their superiority, begin to falter as the rebels press their advantage. Outside, the battle unfolds with chaos and excitement. The rebels manage to breach the defenses, liberating more prisoners and capturing key resources. Their determination fuels a spark of hope in the galaxy as news of Anakin's actions begins to spread. As the dust settles on the battlefield, the surviving members of the rebellion stand victorious. Anakin's decision to show mercy becomes a rallying cry for the galaxy, a symbol of hope that resonates deeply with those who have long suffered under the Empire's yoke. The Inquisitor's transformation from enemy to ally exemplifies the possibility of redemption, reinforcing the idea that anyone can change, no matter their past. With the stronghold liberated and their victory secured, Anakin gathers his allies. He recognizes that this battle is just one step in a long journey toward freedom. The Empire may be weakened, but it is far from defeated. Anakin's path is now clear. He must continue to lead the rebellion, unite the galaxy against tyranny, and strive to protect those who cannot protect themselves. The story of redemption continues as Anakin, alongside his newfound allies, prepares for the challenges that lie ahead. Their fight is not just for survival, it is for the very soul of the galaxy. The choices they make in the coming days will shape the future, guiding the galaxy toward hope, unity, and peace. As the newly united rebel forces regroup after their victory, the atmosphere is electric with hope and determination. Anakin stands before his comrades, the weight of leadership settling on his shoulders. He reflects on the incredible journey that has led him to this moment, from a fallen Jedi to a general in the rebellion, now standing as a symbol of hope. The decisions made in battle not only shape their present but also lay the foundation for a brighter future. In the days following the battle, the rebellion begins to expand its network, reaching out to systems that have been quiet under Imperial rule. Anakin and his allies understand that they cannot simply rely on military might. They must also win the hearts and minds of the galaxy's citizens. This involves extensive diplomacy and grassroots efforts to foster trust and cooperation. Anakin takes the lead in these efforts, visiting planets and engaging with their leaders. He shares stories of the rebellion's victories and the possibilities that lie ahead. The tales of his confrontation with the Inquisitor spread quickly, inspiring those who have lost hope. Citizens begin to rise up, no longer willing to accept oppression, and many former Imperial officers defect, joining the cause. However, the Empire does not sit idle. With the defeat at the stronghold, Palpatine becomes increasingly desperate. He dispatches more Inquisitors and enforces tighter controls over star systems, increasing the Empire's brutality in an attempt to quash the growing rebellion. His paranoia leads him to focus on Anakin, whom he now sees as the most significant threat to his power. In a desperate move, Palpatine orders a direct strike against the rebellion's headquarters, hoping to eradicate the fledgling resistance before it gains any more momentum. The Empire launches a surprise attack, utilizing their fleet and overwhelming numbers to intimidate and instill fear. Anakin and his allies must quickly rally their forces to defend against this imminent threat. As the battle unfolds, Anakin's leadership is put to the test. He coordinates the defenses, drawing on the strength of his allies and their shared commitment to the cause. The stakes are higher than ever, and the clash becomes a defining moment for the rebellion. Anakin feels the weight of every choice, knowing that the future of countless lives hangs in the balance. During the confrontation, the newly redeemed Inquisitor plays a pivotal role. No longer shackled by the dark side, he uses his knowledge of Imperial tactics to help the rebels anticipate the Empire's moves. His unique insights prove invaluable as the two sides clash in a battle of strategy and skill. Together, Anakin and the Inquisitor form a formidable duo, combining their strengths to outmaneuver their enemies. As the fight reaches its peak, Anakin faces off against one of the most powerful Inquisitors, who has been sent to eliminate him. This duel is charged with emotion, as Anakin realizes that this battle is not just about defeating an enemy, but about reclaiming his identity and purpose. He channels the teachings of the Jedi, finding strength in compassion and understanding rather than aggression. The duel is intense, with lightsabers clashing and the Force crackling in the air. Anakin draws on the bond he has formed with his allies and the lessons learned from his journey. He fights not only for himself but for all those who believe in a better future. This determination fuels his connection to the Force, enhancing his abilities in ways he never thought possible. In a climactic moment, Anakin gains the upper hand but is faced with a choice: to strike down his opponent and eliminate a significant threat, or to extend mercy once more. Remembering the lessons of redemption that have guided him, he chooses compassion, offering his opponent a chance to abandon the dark side. This pivotal decision reflects Anakin's evolution and growth, showcasing that even in the heat of battle, the light can triumph over darkness. With the Empire's forces in retreat and the rebellion's resolve stronger than ever, Anakin and his allies emerge victorious once more. The victory serves as a rallying cry, igniting hope across the galaxy. As word of their success spreads, more systems begin to openly defy the Empire, joining the rebellion in their fight for freedom. In the aftermath of the battle, Anakin stands before his comrades, feeling a sense of unity that was once unimaginable. The galaxy, once shrouded in despair, now sparkles with the promise of hope. Anakin reflects on his journey from a fallen Jedi to a leader of a rebellion that embodies the principles of compassion and resilience. His commitment to the light and the bonds he has forged serve as a testament to the power of redemption. The struggle against the Empire is far from over, but Anakin knows that they have the strength to overcome any obstacle. Together, they will continue to fight for a galaxy where peace and justice reign, determined to honor the legacy of the Jedi and reclaim the future for all.